This is the Mariners POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Seattle Mariners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, welcome to the first ever Locked On Mariners postcast where the Mariners don't play a baseball game. They have 2 days in a row off for the first time since last All-Star break. Wait, what's that, babe? They played today?
Uh-oh.
And Cal Raleigh homered? Cool. No. The Mariners lost.
They sure did.
Yeah, they sure did. 10-3 to the New York Yankees. Logan Gilbert good until the rain delay, and then bad after the rain delay. Bats bad until the 8th inning or 7th inning, was it?
Oh,
we're not going to go into specifics today. Today's one of those where we might be a little bit shorter. We're going to talk about the delay and what that effects have on it. We'll talk about Logan Gilbert's start. We'll talk about, the Cal Raleigh home run. It's a big positive from today. But this is your Mariners postcast. We're right after every single Mariners game. We go live and break down the Mariners game you just watched. I apologize if I burp a couple times. I just ate so much food at once. So I'm going to lean over to Christopher Crawford to give his initial thoughts about this game because I don't have much.
It's just pretty simple. The offense was awful until it no longer mattered, and still 3 runs, whoopee flippin' doo-doo. I know that's a big improvement on the previous 2 games where he scored 2 combined. And look, I can appreciate Big Dumper getting number 36, and I can appreciate how good Logan Gilbert was for the first 4 innings of this game. Was it 4 or 5? Either way. No, it was 4. Yeah, because he fell apart in the 5th and then really fell apart in the 6th.
Yeah.
Just an STB game. And if you don't know what that stands for,
you say STB.
Because it's just one of those times where once again, after a rain delay, and Anders and I were trying to remember the third time. We can remember it from the Twins game. We can remember it from this game. Where after a rain delay, and you guys, please let us know what that third game is, because we know there's another one that we're just not thinking of. It's another case where they just look so flat after, and I'm starting to wonder if this team's got a little bit of Glenda or whatever that witch's name. It's not Glenda, it's Elphaba or whatever. Like, do they melt? Like when the rain comes, does this team just like fall apart? Yeah, it's so odd how bad they've been after this. It's just the White Sox. Thank you so much, Brian. That is 100%. That was the third game that we were trying to think of.
Actually, 100% was the White Sox game that they lost because they just basically it hadn't started and then delayed. It was delayed from the start. Yes. And then it came out and was like, we'll just kind of cruise through this one. And I'm wondering how much of it is coaching, man.
You have to wonder, right?
I'm starting to think that it's a Dan Wilson effect where what were they doing during that 40-minute rain delay that they were in? The Yankees came out looking like they wanted to win a baseball game, and the Mariners came out looking like they wanted to go home to their mommies.
Well, and here's the thing: I wonder those other ones I can't tell you, and I have no idea what's going through players' minds, and it's kind of dangerous sometimes to guess. But there's a decent amount of sample size here after these rain delays, right? I wonder if this team really thought this rain delay was going to last a lot longer, because I'll be honest with you, rain delay happened. I turned on Casino was on HBO. I turned it on and I watched it and I was like, can one of you guys just tell me when the game's starting? Well, I thought I was going to get to at least the part where I won't ruin Casino for too many people.
Okay, great. I started vibing to some Pink Floyd and just
there you go. That's nothing wrong with that, but I didn't think it'd be 35. That's not an excuse. I just kind of wonder if that was playing into things, because it was not a good decision. And we can just start with the start.
Yeah, let's do it.
Until that rain delay, Logan Gilbert was as good as I have seen him all year. That stuff was disgusting. His stuff was good. His command was good. He was dominating. And let's just ask the question right now. Should Logan Gilbert have been pitching in the 5th inning? My answer to the question was yes. However, ... Why isn't somebody ready to go after he gives up a couple of base runners? Why isn't somebody ready to go? And I realize you're playing a 6-game road trip here. If you can get him through 5 or 6 innings,
just come off an off day, though.
You still have, do you?
Yesterday, they had a day off.
Yeah, you had the off day, but sure, but you got to play 6 straight, right? So I understand it from that point of view. I would have had somebody ready to go. It wouldn't have been Casey Legamina either, who we can talk about was just dreadful today. And I like Casey Legamina. He's done a good job this year.
Yeah.
That's not a guy whose stuff plays well in the stadium against this type of baseball team. So I see a lot of people in the comments, and I don't even disagree with you, that are blaming Dan Wilson for this one. I don't blame Dan Wilson for the decision to have Gilbert get another inning or try to get through another inning. Soon as he gives up those first 2 base runners, you have to go to your bullpen. And what you should be doing is going to a guy like Bizzardo. You should be going to a guy who has done a good job as a fireman, who has gotten you out of jams, right?
Yes.
It was not a good decision to go to Legamina, and it was a very bad decision to not have somebody ready to roll as soon as Gilbert struggled. But I will say, I was very encouraged by what I saw from Gilbert before that rain delay.
If it was questionable to leave Gilbert in for the 5th inning, it's inexcusable to put him in the 6th.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Why? I see zero reason to put him back out there.
No, I don't get it.
He had already struggled through the 5th.
Sure.
Like, signs were that he wasn't as sharp as before the delay. And like, yeah, I would think that the delay probably has the most effect on a starting pitcher who's grooving. Yeah. And then more than anyone else. So once you see that, it's like, all right, let's limit the damage here. Try and last a couple more innings and keep this game close and see what happens. And who knows what would have happened at that point.
Yeah, no question about it. And, you know, I get that probably you're saving for Vargas for more high leverage stuff. Certainly you're not bringing in Brash or someone like that, but you've used Bizzardo in that type of role to a ton of effect. I don't understand why you don't use him there. But if you do want to take a long-term positive from this, Logan Gilbert was fantastic until that delay.
Yeah. I have another Dan Wilson question for you. Sure. And it's kind of random. We're just going to kind of jump all over the board today. We're not going to go, we're not a very structured show today. You know, just we're putting about as much effort into the structure of the show as the Mariners did after the rain delay. Okay? Sure. There'll be a couple good moments. But overall, it'll be pretty, you know, just cruising to the end, just figuring out what kind of result we get. But the pinch hits for the lefties. I'm curious what your thoughts were there, because I understand that both Canzone and Luke Raley have had trouble hitting against left-handed pitching. Mm-hmm. Less so recently. They have shown signs of it, but Donovan Solano against left-handed pitching has been bad this year, like very bad. His slash line is a 179 batting average, 207 on base, and a 218 slugging for a 22 WRC plus. This is courtesy of Ty Dane Gonzalez. You guys might know him. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, to take out 2 of your better quote unquote hitters in the lineup, just so you can not go lefty-lefty for this one time and maybe have a chance, even if you're going to, in your eyes, throw away that at-bat against that pitcher in that moment, you're most likely going to get another chance against a right-handed pitcher later in the game, and I have more faith in them coming through in that moment than someone like Donovan Solano at this point. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I get it, why people are frustrated. I will just say I will never have an issue pinch hitting somebody for Luke Raley against a lefty. Like, just... He's 1 for 17 this year. He has an 0.59 batting average and an 0.59 slugging percentage. He can't do it. He just flat can't do it. And I get the frustration with Donovan Solano. I trust Donovan Solano more in that situation than Luke Raley. Now, if you want to have Luke Raley try to drag bunt off a lefty and try to get a hit that way, sure. And if you're willing to sacrifice an out, okay. I need people to stop, though, with the let Luke Raley hit against lefty stuff. It can't be done.
What about Canzone?
Canzone isn't good at him either, but I feel a little more confident because Dominic Canzone can at least drive a baseball against anybody, right? Like, there's a very
he can run into one.
He can run into one, right? Luke Raley's as bad, and this is not hyperbole, guys, is as bad of a hitter against left-handed pitching as any player in the entire sport. Stop trying to make fetch happen and stop trying to make Luke Raley hit against lefties happen. It can't be done. It can't. There is a large sample size. The issue is the guys that they're pinch hitting for in that situation, because Donovan Solano's not good against lefties right now. Donovan and Luke Dillon Moore has been just absolutely
He's
atrocious.
Just bad against everyone.
Everyone. So that's the issue there. It's not we have got to let these guys hit. It's we've got to have better guys and better at bats from those guys in order for this to work, because Donovan Solano is a better hitter against lefties, even struggling, than Luke Raley will ever be. He can't do it. They have tried and tried and tried. He can't do it. He flat out cannot do it. Dominic Canzone might be able to do it someday. He's not good at it right now, I'll tell you that.
No.
But Luke Raley has to be pinch hit for against quality left-handed pitching. You can't give up outs. You can't give up outs for hoping that Luke Raley's going to face a righty, because Aaron Boone's not dumb. They're going to bring in another lefty against Luke Raley.
And this is why having two left-handed relievers is important.
100%. Yeah, it's just, I get the frustration. I totally do. Your frustration should be more that Luke Raley can't get it done against left-handed pitching, and the guys that they have just aren't good enough right now.
I tend to mostly agree. It sucks when, you're pinch hitting someone for a situation. It's like, okay, you're putting a pinch hitter in. That means that hitter should probably have a good, favorable matchup.
Right.
And it's just like, it's a less bad matchup is really what it is.
No, I get it.
And it just is, it's so annoying to watch. And like, to me, sometimes it can feel like, all right, if we're not going to use Donovan Solano here, when are we going to use Donovan Solano? So it's just finding places to use him, even if he's not going to come through, because he had another bad double play tonight.
Really bad.
It's just, like, oh my God. Anyways, it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
Offense in general is pretty frustrating right now. But you know what's not frustrating? FanDuel.
Yeah.
Yes, FanDuel is not frustrating because summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about the baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting.
You're already following the action, so why not make it a little more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. It's a great way to track matchups. The app keeps it fresh with daily new promotions and fun ways to bet. It's easy to use, it's fast to pay out, and whether you're doing a same-game parlay or watching a bet ride into the ninth inning, FanDuel makes it feel like you're part of the action.
New to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. If you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you had a service emergency, like a burst pipe. If the first plumber didn't answer, did you wait? No, you called the next one. That's why having a reliable business line is so important, and that's why you need OpenPhone.
OpenPhone is the #1 business phone system that helps you streamline and scale customer communication, all from an app on your phone or computer. If you've ever tried to juggle two phone lines and, as someone who is incredibly popular with just as a dating person, like
with everyone,
constantly, my phone is constantly blowing up, and not having two lines it was a real issue for me in 8th grade. And I can imagine it being a real issue for you as well. They solved that instantly. Just the fact that you get those two phone lines to keep business and personal calls separate. OpenPhone solved it that instantly.
OpenPhone is offering Locked On listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. That's OpenPhone.com/LockedOnMLB. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers. All right, who's your what are you going? Unsung hero, unsung villain today, Chris Crawford?
Oh gosh, I totally forgot that we have to do this.
You have to actually try. I know.
It was great to see a Julio double. I know it was in an absolutely garbage time Blaine Gabbert situation for those of you who don't play fantasy football.
It's a Richie Sexton double right there, if I've ever seen
double,
one.
but hey, beggars can't be choosers, and it was great to see Big Dumper. I'm gonna go with a unsung hero of great job by Juan Burgos.
Yeah,
like, keeping him from having to use any high leverage guys and looking good. I will say, Aaron Judge, I appreciate you taking that pitch right down the middle with 2 strikes and not getting that 35th home run. I think it would be for him. I appreciate that. Yeah, Burgos just looked good. He's somebody that didn't have a lot of fanfare. And if you want to go with a villain, Dan Wilson, Casey Legamina, stadiums without roofs as a villain, what are we doing?
We've mentioned this so many times, man. I do not understand. I really don't.
It really ticks me off. Yeah. It really makes me mad because this affects so much. Is it the reason the Mariners lost? No. Does it play an effect on how that game ended? And does it play an effect on how the next few games will be played? You bet your sweet Bippy. It absolutely has an effect. I'm tired of it. The teams in the Midwest have zero excuse for having a roof. You just built a brand new stadium. Spend the extra couple $100 million that you definitely have, and build.
It doesn't even cost $100 million.
I don't know. I know how much the roof at T-Mobile costs for sure, and so I will tell you that it might be in today's day and age a little bit around there. But I just don't get it. I don't get it. It bugs me. Everybody complains about Seattle in the rain. Well, look where the games are being delayed, jerks.
Yeah, and screw the players. Like, you have to deal with it. Great. It's the fans. It's us that are watching, paying for this stuff. The people who go to those games and then have it delayed, and then you have to figure out some time to go again when you already paid for these tickets, plan for everything. It's just a miserable experience. Totally agree with you.
I thought you were doing an ad for Gametime right there for a second.
Yeah, seriously. Like, God. Hit up Gametime if you get screwed over by some rain delays. But my unsung hero is Jeff Hartlieb. Because
thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you so much for getting Julio to pull a fly ball, not just pull a fly ball, pull a fastball up in the zone inside as a fly ball. Like, that's the first time I've seen that. It's so long.
It's so long. Even that home run against Minnesota was on a pitch that was like right around his kneecap, and
it was a breaking ball, I think.
But I can't remember. But either way, it was definitely not up there. It was great to see him turn on a pitch for sure.
Yeah, and time something up inside. That's great to see from Julio, but mostly because he after Aaron Judge homers earlier in the game, Cal Raleigh hits the home run right after that to retake his 3 home run lead right now, because he has 36. Aaron Judge is 32.
It's 2.
Oh, okay. 34. Yeah, okay. But Cal Raleigh does break the record for the most home runs before the All-Star break. They've made a big deal about this for a couple days now. Does that mean anything to you?
I'm sorry, I didn't listen to what you said. I was thinking 34, 36, and I immediately wanted to say only if she's 5'3". I'm sorry. That's just kind of how my brain goes. You know what? It would be great to see Big Dumper get out of this thing with a lead. It'd be great to see him have that homer lead and to 34, 36, only if she's 5'3". What is wrong with you, Chris Crawford?
Is that a rap lyric?
Yeah, kind of. It's 34. I forget exactly what Mix-a-Lot says, but he says only if she's 5'3".
Okay. See, I'm not a Mix-a-Lot guy.
Okay, real quick before Baby got back, and then we're gonna get out of here because we're gonna do a 20-minute episode, baby. You guys have to go check out the close-ups of Big Dumper's dumper that the New York media kept showing. Like, they literally kept zooming in on it to make Michael K upset. Like, they were talking about the nickname, and they kept zooming in on the thing. And here's the crazy part. You couldn't zoom in enough to get all of it. Like, that's the kind of dumper we're talking about with Big Dumper. Like, it was so great. We have nothing else to say.
This is the kind of stuff we break down when the Mariners lose 10-3 and there's a rain delay.
You got 15 seconds.
You get the last word.
Okay. Cam Schlitter tomorrow. That is a very funny name. We're all going to struggle with it a little bit.
Did you just swear? Do I have to dump that?
Schlitter's full.